It's time to turn your life-challenging moments into life-changing messages. Welcome to the PowerLift Stories podcast, where we are interviewing women whose stories will leave you lifted up, fired up, and fueled up with hope, courage, and inspiration. We want to thank our sponsor, Powerful Journey, who helps women tell their stories, write their books, and building a profitable brand around both. Join the Masterclass or the Speakers Academy at phyllisjenkins.com. That is PHYLLISJENKINS.com. Now here's your host, Phyllis Jenkins.
Don't you just love when the doctors say one thing, but God says another? Well, you are going to thoroughly enjoy this interview today. I am so excited once again to have Mariele Landrom with us today. Mariele, welcome to the PowerLift Stories podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, I am excited to have you, and I think it's amazing how the Lord put our journeys together. I was working as a librarian, and you were one of the volunteers that came in. It was your son's school, so I love it how God brings people in our lives. So let me introduce you, and then we'll dig right into our interview. Mariele Landrom is a lifestyle coach who empowers individuals to become the best version of themselves. But this path to her life's work was no easy journey due to Crohn's disease. The disease took a toll on her body, where she weighed 79 pounds, was malnourished, and had 3 fistulas and 1.5 feet of her intestine removed, almost costing her her life. But Mariele, being the warrior that she is, and you will hear more about that, used this life experience to fuel her focus of healing her body and developing her mindset to overcome Crohn's disease, which, thank God, she did. As a former D1 collegiate track athlete, she has a master's degree in exercise science and a bachelor's degree in exercise science and a master's degree in education administration and supervisions. Mariele is an NSL bikini athletic pro. And with all of the obstacles and adversities that she's faced, she never gave up, but instead let it shape her life's purpose. And Mariele, I am so honored, blessed to have you with us today. And I want you to share a little bit more, including the exciting new news that you have.
Well, awesome. The exciting new news is I will be having a baby girl March 18th. So we're excited. 2020. Has definitely created a lot of different things, and I'm just so excited for 2021 and just everything that God has. So thank you again for allowing me this opportunity to just share my journey and inspire others. So thank you again for that.
Absolutely. So they will have a little boy. They have a little boy already, and then God is about to bless them with a baby girl to go with it. Beautiful family. Yes, I am so excited along with you. So let's get into our interview. Mariele, if you were to give your story a title, what would that title be and why?
All right, so I would call it Didn't Win, right? Because Crohn's disease wanted to really attack my body and take my life and just kind of defeat me. But instead, I turned it around and I learned how to fight back, right? A lot of times we go through battles, we go through different things in our life. And so, that's what we have to remember. No matter how tough it gets, you have to keep going. You have to keep pushing. And so, at the end of the day, God, it's my story, but God gets all the glory, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been able to fight that battle. So how do you fight that battle? With being equipped with praying, staying on your knees and just being faithful and knowing what his word says and knowing that you're going to come out on top. So, yep. So I would say it didn't win.
I love that. I love that. It didn't win. Yay. Well, let's jump into your life-changing story. Would you share, please?
Absolutely. So, I was 22 years old. I had just graduated from college. I was actually got married that summer to my wonderful husband. We had just came back from our honeymoon. So I was like on cloud nine, right? So graduating from college, getting married, just living a dream. Well, 3 months later, I found myself in a space where, it was very hard for me to eat a lot of foods. I was having to constantly go to the bathroom. I was feeling fatigued all the time, wondering why I would get 10 to 12 hours of sleep and still just wake up tired. I would have really severe abdomen pain to the point where I would just ball up at nighttime in a fetal position because the pain was just so bad that I couldn't even bear it. I mean, I stayed on the toilet. I would have night sweats, wake up in the morning, bed soaking wet, like what's going on here? I'm a grown adult. I know I didn't pee on myself, but it was just, whatever my body was going through, it was just sweating it out. And literally, I felt like a 70-year-old in a 20-year-old body because that's just how bad, I felt. So, eventually after, you go through so much, you say, hey, I can't take enough. Let me go to the doctor. They ran several tests, and then that's when I found out that I had Crohn's disease. I wasn't familiar with the disease, but it's an autoimmune disease that basically attacks your digestive tract. Mine was mostly in my small intestine. So, kind of that journey of in and out the hospital, not really talking to people because I didn't look like what I was going through on the inside. Most people identify people who are smaller stature, like they're healthy and you don't have any issues. And because I was a private person, I just kind of went through all of this internally, and I held a lot of it in or whatever. But eventually it got to the point after medication really wasn't working where, I got to the point where I was 79 pounds. The doctor was like, really there's no choice. You have to have surgery. And when he went in, he found out that it was actually worse than what it was. He was like, honestly, I don't really even know how you survived, because you talk about how can the body function when food is going out. Fistulae are, that's toxic, right? Because it has to create a pathway. If it can't get out of that small intestine, imagine like small intestine being blocked. So it's like this, hard as a rock, and no food can get through there. And so that's what had happened to my body. And so I praise God for the right surgeon, right? He always puts those angels at the right place at the right time. And
yes, he does.
To, remove that part of my small intestine. And after that, that's when I just vowed to take care of my health because I realized your health is your wealth. If you don't have your health, I was 23 years old, but at that time, if I couldn't do anything. I couldn't give to, my husband. I couldn't give to, I was a teacher to those students because I needed, all the energy to fight this battle or whatever. So, that's kind of my story in a nutshell, but, then I just end up finding a healthy lifestyle that would be conducive so that I could defeat Crohn's. I didn't want to be on medication long term. So, that's where kind of the whole mind, body, and soul, that mindset having to shift saying, not why me, but why not me? God obviously put me through all of this to be able to be a light to someone else to say, hey, before things get bad, take care of your health because we don't know. We walk around thinking that we're healthy, but here I was, it wasn't as healthy as I thought I was. And so he wants to use your purpose and use you for a purpose, but you can't do that if you don't have a sound mind and body so that you can walk in your ultimate purpose. So that's kind of how I was able to fast forward, walk into my purpose without even knowing it because I had been through so many life experiences. And it was just like, every time I would run into people, I was telling them my story and what I was able to do. And it was like, that's how God uses. He just uses ordinary people with extraordinary stories that, allow people to say, hey, if God can do it for you, then he can do it for me too. So
he does indeed. And what an extraordinary story this is. And you've sort of answered this, but God does reveal himself through our life experiences, and just share a little bit more about how God revealed himself through this experience.
Absolutely. Well, for one, he just showed how faithful he was because regardless of when I felt alone, he was always there. He put different angels around me, people to support me when I was feeling down, to uplift me during that time. And, I knew it couldn't have been anybody but God, So sometimes when we go through situations like, where you at, God? But he's there in the midst of our storm. He is there and he's right beside you, and you're going to come out on top and go back through that storm and say, you know what, that storm is nothing, once you get out of it, right? It seems bad at the time, but that's just kind of how, God just showed his faith and how faithful he is, regardless of, how tough things look, that he's going to be able to, you're going to be able to come out on top, and he's going to get the victory at the end of the day. So
I love that. And you talked about changing your mindset and also taking control of your health. How did you do that with nutrition? Would you share with our listeners?
Yeah, absolutely. So to start off with, I had to shift my mindset where I had to realize that food is medicine, that I can't eat for taste, but I had to eat to live. I have a
Wait, you got to say that again. Say that again. Don't eat for taste, but
eat to live.
Yes.
Food is medicine. And so once I realized that I want to, live to be 70, 80 years old and be able to see my son and see my daughter, be able to thrive in life. But I can't do that if I didn't, take care of myself. So that's where I had to shift my mind to my why I wanted to do this, number one, because if you don't have a strong why, then it's easy to quit, and once you develop why you want to do something, then your mindset will shift to like, no matter what, I'm going to make this happen. And so for me, I started with just taking out certain foods that were hard to digest. I started with fried foods, beef, pork, green leafy vegetables, dairy. So I kind of started with that, and then eventually became a pescatarian, and now I'm vegan. Just decided to just go plant-based and just eat of the earth. Obviously God gave us all the resources that we needed. And so I just felt vegan was the best option, for me. But I'm telling you, if you change what you eat, and then it's a game changer. Talk about energy, feeling great, not on medication, nothing that the doctor said I would be on. I'm not a statistic, like, at all. They said I would have multiple surgeries before the age of 30. I'm 35 years old. I had that one major surgery. I haven't been on medication in probably over 7-8 years. So, they'll, like you said, the doctors will tell you one thing, but God has the ultimate say so. But you have to take ownership and act on it. God is not a genie, but if you do the work and follow the tools and what he's put in place, then you can be successful. He created, all that food for a reason. And that's what we're supposed to eat, eat of the earth. Eat as much as possible, right? Because it's good for us. So
I love that. Now, I personally know that you not only take care of yourself with great nutrition, but through exercise as well. So can you just share the importance of that and even some of what you're doing to help others with their exercise?
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so exercising plays a huge part. For me, it was more of just the endorphins that are relieved when you exercise. And so just kind of clearing your mind. I always feel like once I finish working out, I feel accomplished, right? Because working out is really you getting in there, pushing yourself. It's not about you comparing yourself to anybody else. And that's why I love it. So whether you're working out 10, 15, 30 minutes a day, you feel accomplished and you feel ready to go. I usually work out in the morning with my routine because that's just what works best, and it sets the tone for my day. So working out isn't just always about the physical, but for me, it's more of the mental, relieving that stress, setting the tone for my day, and then just feeling great, like I can accomplish so much. So, how you start your day is usually, will dictate how your day will go, right? And so for me, working out is one of those things where it just helps me to, kickstart my day or whatever, and just kind of added it into my routine. Obviously, I ran track, but at that time I was doing it because I kind of had to, right? It was a job. That's what they were paying me to do. But once I realized the benefits and how it helped me, it was like I had to put it back in place, but more from a health perspective, not I have to do this, but I get the opportunity to wake up every single morning and work out, because I think about those patients who do have Crohn's disease that don't have a story like mine, that they are in the hospital, they are suffering, and there are people out here who would love to go work out. So when I don't feel like doing something, I'm like, I have no reason not to do it, because here I am, a healthy, able person, and I'm going to work out so that I can make sure that my body is strong enough to withhold whatever it is that God wants to, how he wants to use me, right? So, just, and that's that part of that shift in that mindset, that you know, this we have to do it, right? We got to do it. We can't make excuses. We make a lot of excuses, but when it comes to your health, don't make an excuse, because your health is everything.
Absolutely. And you have also extended your platform where you're helping other women as well to get in shape with their exercise. So you want to share a little bit about your coaching and yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So in our tribe, my whole focus is to help people to create a healthy lifestyle. A lot of times there's a lot of information out there and people are confused. And when you're confused and you don't know where to start, then it becomes kind of frustrating. So what I do in my group is I try to keep it simple. So I give people a simple meal plan to kind of follow, start educating themselves about what they're eating and what they're putting into their body. We do workouts in the morning time on Zooms together, so that they can be committed at a set time, but also they can go back and watch the recordings and then just kind of hold them accountable to this healthy lifestyle. So that's kind of what the tribe is there for, so people can ask questions and just become more educated about the choices that you make. Because I think once you become educated and you understand the benefits of doing this, then you will continue it. And then once you see the results that you want by feeling great, not always about weight, but just feeling great. I mean, that's a huge, like for me, I know it's huge. I'd rather feel great than be worried about what size I am. But if I'm feeling good, then looking good, I'm good.
Love that. Absolutely. That is great. And in just a moment, I will ask you to share with our listeners how they can join your tribe and how they can contact you and follow you on social media. But before I do, I just want to ask this very last question of you. I want you to imagine that you just stood in front of thousands of women and you told your story. You have shared your life-changing, heartfelt story, your extraordinary story. You've shared it. And they have all stood to their feet and they've given you the biggest cheers and applause. But now they have walked away to return to their vehicles and the curtains are closing. You're turning to walk away from the stage. Give me 3 points or 3 powerful lessons that you hope that every woman walked away with.
Well, for one, it's focusing on number one, focusing on your mind and your body, what you're feeding your mind, feeding yourself positivity in the morning, saying affirmations to yourself, loving yourself, and then taking care of your body, right? Focusing on what you're feeding your body. Remember, food is medicine. And then also looking at who you're fellowshipping around. Make sure the people that you're around have that same positive energy that you want, that they're pushing you to be better, that they're celebrating, not just tolerating. You want to be around those people because that really makes a huge difference. And if you're not doing something, if they're going to hold you accountable so that you can become the best version of yourself. And then the last thing is to just have faith. Have faith that no matter what you are going through, that you're going to get through it. It can seem like there is no light at the end of the tunnel, but it is. You have to keep going, keep pressing forward, and keep believing, and everything will work out the way it's supposed to. So those are my 3 things. Focus on that mind, food, fellowship, who you're around, and have faith.
Those are great 3 powerful points. And I'm sure that our listeners were taking great notes. Mariele, thank you so much for this powerful interview. Please tell our listeners how they can join you. And not only, you are doing just so much. It is just amazing. Not only do you have a baby on the way, not only do you teach classes, but you have a new line that you've just launched of cologne and perfume. Please talk about that and then tell our listeners how they can purchase it. Tell our listeners how they can follow you and connect with you.
Awesome. Yes, so absolutely. Part of our brand is the LG lifestyle, which is the mind, body, and soul. And so we believe people want to look good, feel good, smell good. So part of our line became a fragrance, right? Because that was just what we wanted to do to make sure that people were confident about how they were feeling when they were going out there. So we have a perfume called Diva Lure, stands for precious, valuable, and worthy, because we want people to know that you are that, ladies, right? And the men's cologne is La Viga. It stands for being bold, pizzazz, having that strength and that stamina, so that you can endure the test of times. And so that is our 2 fragrances that we currently have. And our website is the lgcompound.com. You can follow me on Facebook. My name is just Mariele Landrom. I still have room to accept friends. If not, you can still follow me on Instagram. My name is Miss Let's Go. It's MRS. Let's Go. Go has 4 O's. Just kind of our mission in life is to take people with us, not just telling people to go there, but to lead by example so that people can follow what you're doing. So kind of practicing what we preach. So that's where Mr. and Miss Let's Go came from, my husband and I. And let's see what are the platforms. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. So just reach out to me, whatever it is, all about, helping you become the best version of yourself. I would love to help you. And thank you again for this opportunity to share my story for His glory on your platform.
Yes, your story is indeed for His glory. And I've ordered my perfume, so I'm excited to receive it.
Receive it, so that way you can give the viewers a testimony, I guess, on this video later on.
Absolutely. And let me spell Mariele for those of you who are listening. It's Mariele. Mariele, Landrom, Land as in David, ROM. Be sure to look her up, follow her, like her, and you will be truly blessed, as I have been blessed with this young woman who is on a mission and just doing great things and doing them all well. So again, Mariele, such an honor and a pleasure to have you here today. To our listeners, thank you. And please jump over to PhyllisJenkins.com, PhylLIS, Jenkins, JENKINS.com. That's the website. And you can look at our Masterclass, where you will become a published author, or we have the speakers platform, where you can become a public speaker, say that fast, and then be allowed to stand on our platform and share your story at our annual April conferences. So we are so excited to extend that invitation to you. So again, have a wonderful, wonderful day, and happy November. Happy November to you. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. If you are interested in being on the show, go to PhyllisJenkins.com. You can also sign up for the Powerful Journey Masterclass or the Speakers Academy at PhyllisJenkins.com.